This tool crashed the stock market a few weeks ago, and it's not a new AI model. It's a feature inside Claude called Cowork, and I've been testing it on my actual business. It's organized my files, chopped my podcast into shorts, reviewed my entire email strategy, and then drafted an 8 email campaign, posted straight to Notion, all while I made my coffee. So today I'm going to walk you through everything it did, but the demo where it analyzed 10 of my podcast episodes and found 12 content gaps I'd completely missed, well, that one genuinely changed how I'm planning my next quarter. So if you haven't heard of Cowork yet, quick version. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, has this tool called Claude Code. And developers are obsessed with it. But then non-technical people started using it too for everything, organizing files, planning holidays, managing their entire businesses. So Anthropic was like, okay, yeah, let's get Claude Code to build this for everyone. And that's how Cowork came about. So it's the same AI brain, same power, but you don't need to know what a terminal is. And honestly, when I say it crushed the stock market, I'm not being dramatic. Software stocks dropped billions because investors realized this thing can do a lot of what other SaaS tools can do for $20 a month. And I'm going to show you how to use it. All right, first up, I'm going to quickly run through the difference between Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. And yes, I did make this interactive artifact using Claude Chat. So Claude Chat is where a lot of people hang out, particularly when they first start using Claude. So that's in the browser, or it could even be in your desktop. This is where you're asking questions, you get answer, create content, that sort of thing. And it's all in the chat window. This is like super user-friendly, and it's just got a little breakdown here. It's best for writing and editing content, brainstorming, strategy. The limitations here are that it can't access your files directly. It's one response at a time, copying, pasting, unless you're using connectors. And then moving over to Cowork, which is such an upgrade because it's basically the bridge between Claude Chat and Claude Code. So what's really cool about this is that you can give it access to your files. It can help with organizing and renaming files, creating documents, spreadsheets, repurposing content across platforms, video editing, and batch processing. And it's really friendly for non-technical founders. And then finally, we've got Claude Code over here. If you want to build it up, Claude Code, like you can just do basically whatever you want with Claude Code. That's how I feel about Claude Code. But the learning curve for it is a lot steeper. So it is great at writing and debugging code, building entire systems and workflows. There are people out there using it for marketing, content, all sorts of stuff. And so it definitely isn't just coding in applications. However, people who've never opened a terminal, it is really kind of intimidating. So Cowork, as I said before, bridges that gap. So here's a nice breakdown. I'll actually drop this into the YouTube description too, because this gives a really nice visual breakdown of what each of these can and can't do and some features. All right, so let's open Cowork in our desktop app. This is our Claude Chat window. And in the desktop app, access now, if you're on a Mac, to Cowork as well as Claude Code. Jumping over here, just a few things. So model pickers here, extended thinking. We've got access to Sonnet 4.5, Haiku 4.5, as well as Opus 4.6. This is one of the key features, right? We can now interact with Claude Cowork in our folders. So I'm going to give this one access to my downloads. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is clean up your downloads folder. When Cowork first dropped, that was the very first thing I got it to do. It's been like 3 weeks and my downloads needs another cleanup. So let's get it to do that today. Can you please sort my downloads folder out for me? And then you can see over here, so it's starting up this task. It will create a to-do list over here where it kind of plans out what it's going to do and then works off that to-do list. Here, folders and files that it has access to, and then any context here. So if you're working on maybe a marketing activity, you could have brand voice guide, content pillars, all of that sort of stuff in that context here. All right. So it's accessed my downloads here, and it's got 69 loose files that it needs to clean out. All right. And then the really cool thing about this is before it starts to do anything, it asks you questions. So it asks you questions here about what it is going to do for you. And this is kind of like plan mode in Claude Code if you are familiar with that. If you're not, it's all good. So how would you like me to sort the loose files? Into the existing folders, into a stated subfolder, or just by file type? So the first time Claude Cowork did this, it made these beautiful folder system for me. So we're just going to do that. All right, there's an incomplete download. And so one thing I've done here is as a safety feature, I have it set up so it's not to delete any files. What it does is reviews them and then puts them into a folder that is for me to review for deletion, because I don't want it to accidentally delete a whole bunch of stuff that I do not want it to delete. So that's how I'm getting it to kind of look at stuff, duplicates, that sort of thing. But I'm like, hey, just put those into a folder. I'll review them and then manually delete. So you can see here in this progress bar, it has created a to-do list that it's now working through. Sweet. So it's all done here. If we see this now, all of that progress has been ticked off. It's given me a breakdown of all of the files that it has moved. Amazing. So that's just one tiny way that Cowork can help you. Organizing, renaming files, that sort of thing. Let's get into one of my favorite ways to use Cowork. So if we jump back over here, you can see all these tasks that I have completed previously. And if you want to start a new task, you just go up here. The cool thing about Cowork too is that you can run tasks in parallel. So you can have a bunch of stuff going at once. It can be working on that stuff while you're working on something else and come back and that's all ready and waiting for you. Another cool way to use Cowork, kind of capitalizing on the fact that it can access your folders, is to get it to cut your long form down into short form clips. So I posted about this on Threads the other day and the thread went off. It got like 30,000 views. And I had people who were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I had other people who were like, it didn't do that. So anyways, I dropped one of the short form clips where I walked through this and they were like, I stand corrected. So this is one that if you, you have podcasts, YouTube, that sort of thing, and you want it to TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, whatever, this is amazing. And I'm just going to walk you through exactly what I did. So I just asked it. I was like, are you able to edit videos? And Claude came back and was like, I can do trimming, create simple animations. I was like, can you pull out bite-sized clips from my podcast for socials? And so basically what I gave it access to was the video that I wanted clipped. And so it was like, okay, this is like a 22-minute video. And what it tried to do first was transcribe it itself. Because it's a raw video, it was having trouble to do that. I'm sure there's skills out there now that could do that. If you had this on YouTube, it would be able to grab that link and just transcribe it for you. I'll give you the video transcript and then you can kind of look at in that transcript, what are 5 amazing clips that we could pull out, the key points. And then it was like, here's 5 key points. And it was like, I'll create 5 vertical clips in 9:16 ratio for TikTok and Reels. And so you can see here, it's like that high energy intro and these other key energy points that it was like, these are worth clipping. So I dropped the transcript in and then here they are. AI slop is killing your brand. Lazy AI will damage your brand. Agency A versus Agency B. AI is a mirror. And then AI is not a replacement. It's an amplification. So, I love this. It's pulled out why it works and a quote here too. So then it's just gone and cut these clips. And if I open these for you, you will see what these are. And this is really cool too. I love this about Cowork is once it's completed something, it will give you this summary of what it's done. So it's named these, which is meaningful. The AI slop is killing your brand. Lazy AI damages your brand, that sort of thing. So I know if I'm in that folder, I'm just like, oh yeah, that one. And it's got the length of them here. And it also created captions and calls to action. So let's open this now. And because I did that file clean, I'm just going to have to open it manually. And then you can see here, it has created these captions, hashtags, And also it has put, that is my ManyChat automation word so that people get sent the podcast. So good. And then what I love too is it has, so they're ready to go. And then it's given me these posting strategy tips as well, best times for my audience, and the hashtags notes as well. So useful. All right. I'm going to show you a couple more, which are creative and just ways that you probably haven't seen Claude Cowork be used. All right. So continuing on with the podcast. So you can see here, these are all connectors, right? We want it working in the tools that we are using. This is where you actually get leverage with AI. So I've got all these connectors here: Gmail, Drive, Calendar, Gamma. So I record all of my podcasts and they sit in a Google Drive in my Fathom transcripts and analyze the past, let's say 4 episodes. No, let's go 10 episodes and be like, what themes am I repeating? What are some angles that I haven't hit before? So let's do that. Can you go into my Google Drive Fathom folder and find the last 10 transcripts titled podcast? What I want you to do is analyze my podcast themes and episodes and give me an idea of repeated themes, any angles that I've missed, and some ideas for some new episodes and some insight. So here I've just let it know that the overall document drive is called Fathom and the documents inside will be called podcast. So it's found the documents and it's created this to-do list. So it's going to fetch the podcast, analyze recurring themes, identify missed angles, content gap. Let's see how it goes. All right. So it's done its thing. That probably took about 5 minutes. It's identified 7 recurring themes, 12 content gaps, which is probably one of the most useful things for me, 15 new episode ideas, and 7 strategic insights. And it's also created this HTML dashboard. So let's open this up. Okay, so 10 episodes analyzed. It's got the word count there. All right. So these are previous episodes. Let's see what it said for recurring theme: AI strategy versus AI use, anti-AI slop authenticity, automations and workflows in N8N, women in AI. Oh, I love this. All right, missed angles. So this is obviously something that will be super useful for me. AI pricing and monetization, client experience and delivery with AI, AI failures. And then I like this. It's got high, medium, and then opportunities. Oh, this is great. And then new episode ideas. This is amazing. Like, I will actually be using. And then strategic insight. This is so helpful because it's used my transcripts, right? I can get it to go out and get the context from my Google Drive. And this is awesome. So cool. Okay, so we've done file cleanup, podcast chopping, short form videos, podcasts, transcript analysis. Now, the next couple of things I'm going to show you are going to blow your mind even more than what I've shown you so far. So if we come down here and hit the plus button, we have all of these connectors, which I touched on Google Drive before, but there is a new feature now called plugins. So let's open this up. And basically this gives you access to a whole bunch of plugins. And as it says here, these are to customize your Claude with custom skills, commands, and agents. So at the moment, I've got access to plugins by Anthropic, but you can also add your own. You can add in some from a URL, and also there are plugins available on GitHub now. What these do, so here's one for customer support, there's one for data, finance, legal. Let's grab this marketing one and install it. Okay, so that installed in a second. And let's just jump up here to manage plugin and open this up. The description of this. So it's to create content, plan campaigns, analyze performance across marketing channels, maintain brand voice consistency, track competitors, and report on what's working. So this is starting to feel more a team member, right? Like this does loads of different things. It has access to skills. So there are 5 skills in this plugin. So brand voice, campaign planning, competitive analysis, content creation, and analytics. And then these shortcuts, what these do is if you type this shortcut into Claude Cowork, it will go and do this thing, which is very similar to / commands in Claude Code. So basically, it's just literally what it says. It's a shortcut to go and do that thing. So you don't have to prompt it. You can just hit the shortcut and it will go. So if we just test this out now, I'm just going to go review content against my brand voice. And we'll just see how it goes because I haven't given it any context here. And so you can see up here too. So the marketing plugin, it has all of these options here because we're within this now. All right. So it's got the brand review set up. And what's really cool is I didn't give it any of my documents. I just gave it access to the downloads folder and it has picked out my voice and style guide. Then what I did was I asked it to go check my emails in my marketing dashboard in Notion. So all of my emails get planned and they sit in Notion for scheduling. So I was like, can you review the last 5 emails and highlight areas of opportunity and plan a campaign promoting my next upcoming workshop? So it's just gone and done that. It's given me a score here, 7.9 out of 10. My voice is fundamentally strong. So it's highlighted here. And this is interesting because I know that my click rate would agree with this. So the biggest single opportunity is upgrading my CTAs. And it's pulled out, I guess, one email here that is a standout. And then it's given me a campaign plan, 8 emails over 9 days. All right. And then it's created this HTML dashboard. So let's have a look at this now and see how it looks. Overall pattern and opportunities. Okay, this is cool. Again, it's so useful. It's given me a score on the email, which is a really nice way to just see a summary here. It's saying that my CTAs are too soft and then also the biggest strength here, which is really useful because as I create new email campaigns, all right, and then it's gone and done the individual email reviews. So full breakdown here. And also it's like, here's the before and after. And then finally, overall patterns and opportunities. So the recurring strengths is my permission giving tone, which is really aligned with my brand. Concrete, actionable steals in every email because I do like my emails to be super high value. So, it doesn't matter if you're going to work with me or not, you're going to get something out of these. And I will drop the link to my free email list down below. Recurring weakness is the calls to action, which is something that I can easily back on. And so you can see here, I've got the marketing plugin now in this chat window. So I'm just going to grab that and hit the email sequence here now. So this is part of the plugin, right? So this is the skill within the plugin. So I'll say, can you draft the as per the above campaign plan? And now it's running the skill and it will go ahead and drop those campaigns for me. What I really like about Cowork is the way that it functions so similarly to Claude Code. So it's drafted, it's loaded my brand voice and style guide. But then what it's doing is it's running these in parallel. So these are subs working on batch 1 and batch 2. So it is going to post these to Notion now so I can review them. And so these 8 emails are now sitting here in my Notion dashboard ready for me to review. And they're all tagged. This is amazing. All right. So we've done file sorting. Okay. So it's gone through my emails here and then I was like, can you teach me how you work? And so basically anytime I'm chatting with Claude, I can say add this to my task list and it will add it to the task list here. And the memory now grows over time as well. And then anytime I want to view this in the dashboard, I can. And I just use this / command and that will bring everything into sync. So let's just say, okay, what do I have outstanding for the rest of the week? I should probably also connect my calendar here too. Can you please also make sure you are referencing my calendar? This is absolutely born out of ClaudeBot, I feel. This is kind of what ClaudeBot does. The memory wasn't great. And yeah, I personally think it's all hype. I think the potential is there. Something like Claude Cowork is much safer to use and you can actually see what's happening. Okay, so you can see here that it has had a look at my calendar and is summarizing my week. And it's also said I'm going to update the memory to give me the full picture. Sweet. All right. So just to recap what you have learned today, we cleaned up a disaster. That was my downloads folder. We chopped up a podcast into ready to post short form clips. with captions and hashtags ready to go. We analyzed 10 episodes of my podcast and found a dozen content gaps I didn't know I had. We ran a full brand voice audit on my emails, built an 8-email campaign, and posted the whole thing to Notion. And then finally, we set up a productivity dashboard pulling from my email and Google Calendar, as well as my Notion dashboard where all of my business lives. That's not 5 different tools. That's one tool in one tab. And honestly, we barely scratched the surface of what Claude Cowork can do. There are plugins for sales, finance, legal, and customer support. And you can build your own. I'm going to do another episode where I go deep into skills and plugins because there is so much there. If you're watching this and you're, okay, I get it. AI can actually do stuff now, but I don't know where to start with my own business. That's literally what I do. I help women entrepreneurs build AI-first businesses and systems that actually work for their business. Not theory, not prompting tips, real life systems and implementation like you just saw. So I do that with consulting, and I also have a membership where we do this stuff together every single month. I will drop the link below into the description. And if you want my one-on-one consult link, that's down there too. If this was useful, make sure you subscribe and like this video because that helps my channel grow. And I hope you enjoyed looking at all the ways Claude Cowork can help you grow your business without hiring a team. I will see you on the next video.